of this game complete. And we started this today.
This is on baseball.
But yeah, it could be GTA 4, you know. We could be doing some GTA 4, you know what I'm saying? And I got the expansion packs for those too. So we'll be doing the Lost and Damned and the Ballad of Gay Tony at a later time as well. You should replay a Red Dead game sometime in the future sometime.
I'm making sure that two of my hard drives
tomorrow, for example, I might be playing Red Dead Revolver from beginning to end. Like beginning to end. Like starting it and then playing through it in one stream. Maybe tomorrow. Or potentially soon, we'll probably do Red Dead Redemption 2. We'll start that over. Since that technically happened before Red Dead Redemption 1 anyway. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you in about 45 minutes or so. Have a good one.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think they picked it up today because they're behind us. Now they gotta go out today.
Firefly, sometimes the best stretch is to run an APL. Sound available, press L to sprints.
Enemy now!
I'm dodging enemies and just hold on, guys.
Was formed. They heard echoes in the press regarding a small ranch in the north of Utah, which was apparently being visited by UFOs on a regular basis. Terry Sherman had reluctantly approached a local newspaper at the beginning of the year to report the strange happenings on his property, almost as a cry for help. He had long held the suspicion that the majority of the activity was somehow related to secretive military technology. He did not believe in extraterrestrials or any of the tales regarding Native American folklore, and he hoped that by bringing attention to the phenomena, whoever was perpetuating it might back off. In the summer of 1996, Bigelow called a meeting to discuss the case, phenomena that was occurring on a regular basis and was of the precise nature for which the organisation was formed. The prospect seemed too good to pass up. Within a matter of weeks, the NIDS team had met with the Sherman family, and after hearing their unbelievable experiences, expressed their interest in purchasing the property from them. Whilst Gwen and the children were desperate to move, and would have been happy never to have set foot on the ranch again, Terry was a proud man, and he was not quite ready to leave. He was infuriated at being run off his own land, especially as he still didn't know what was behind the phenomena. However, he had to do what was best for his family, and grudgingly agreed, although he did offer to become ranch manager for the NIDS team. He was keen to see how their investigation would progress, and what answers they might find, if only to get some closure from the ordeal he and his family had suffered over the last 2 years. As NIDS was a team of scientists used to working in lab conditions, and didn't know the first thing about running a ranch, they happily accepted his offer. Along with the property, they also purchased livestock to keep as bait, and Terry also housed some of his own cattle there for the same purpose. By September that year, NIDS had moved their observation trailer and mobile laboratory onto the property. The field team consisted of 4 scientists and a group of assistant investigators, who were stationed at the ranch permanently around the clock. The field team's role was to collect and analyse evidence, and then present it in monthly meetings to the advisory board. The first thing the team did when they arrived was run a battery of tests. The phenomena described by the Sherman family was far too varied and bizarre to pin down to any one explanation, and their initial thoughts were that there was possibly a psychological or environmental angle to consider. Were the Shermans simply lying for attention? Had Terry and his family been suffering from a mass delusion? Were there plants on the land which emitted spores with hallucinogenic properties? Was the family's water supply being contaminated? Did the ranch have areas with intense electromagnetic fields? Were there any instances of very low or ultra-low frequencies, otherwise known as infrasound? Were there any fault lines running across the property, creating a situation of mild tectonic or seismic stress, which is thought to cause light anomalies and visual hallucinations? The short answer to all of these questions was a resounding no, although it would take longer to answer some of these queries than others, especially regarding psychological factors. Despite this, aside from a few strange lights seen in the sky, the remainder of 1996 would be uneventful, and the NIDS field team were initially doubtful of some of the more bizarre stories they had been told, but all that would change in the coming year. In essence, the longer the NIDS team spent on the ranch, the more they would come to the terrifying realization that the Sherman family was telling the truth. On the 9th of March 1997, Terry and Gwen discovered the carcass of a black Angus calf lying on the grass a little over 100 yards from the homestead. Gwen seldom ventured onto the ranch since the family had moved away, but on this day, she had been helping Terry tag some of the animals in the pasture. They had tagged this particular calf, and then walked 300 yards across the field to tag others, which were grazing to the south. Whilst they were attending to this task, a dog that was with them began to growl. Its hair stood on end as it looked back towards the ranch house. Terry and Gwen followed its gaze, and saw that the mother of the first calf was limping back and forth, clearly out of her wits. When they ran over to see what was going on, they found her calf on the ground. Its entire abdominal cavity, including all of its organs, had been removed. The only things that remained were its head, legs and spinal column, with some of the ribcage still intact. It was also missing an ear, which looked as if it had been sliced off with an extremely sharp instrument. Most perplexing of all was that there was not one single drop of blood on the grass around the animal. The ear that had been sliced off was the one that they had tagged less than 45 minutes before. During that time, something had removed more than 60 pounds of meat from this poor animal, in broad daylight and in full view of the rancher and his wife, though they hadn't seen or heard a thing. The NIDS veterinarian was baffled. The cuts were clean and precise, with no spillage of blood. He surmised that no predator that he knew of could have been responsible. When asked whether they had noticed anything unusual prior to the incident, both Terry and Gwen reported that they had smelled a heavy musk odour in the area. After the vet had taken necropsy samples from the calf, the rest of the team began to search for tracks. In doing so, they happened to pass one of the kennels and saw that the dogs were all huddled inside. It should be mentioned at this point that NIDS had strategically placed 3 large observation towers on the property, each surrounded by a chain link fence, inside which they housed a number of dogs. Canines had an uncanny ability to sense when something strange was about to happen, so the team used them as biosensors. Terry remarked how the dogs hadn't ventured out all day. In fact, they would refuse to leave their shelter for many days after this event, and slowly but surely, the NIDS team would come to understand why. Something was lurking on the ranch. At around 11 PM on the 12th of March, the dogs started howling and barking at something on the far side of the pasture. Terry and the NIDS team had been sitting inside the observation trailer at the time, but soon piled into a truck and headed towards the disturbance. The 4x4 had a bright spotlight fitted to the roof, and as they rounded the corner, the beam washed over the tops of distant cottonwoods. In that moment, they saw a pair of yellow orbs sitting about 20 feet up in one of the trees. It was a huge pair of eyes reflecting the light. Terry stopped the truck and reached behind him for his rifle. Exiting the vehicle, he leaned on the open door and took aim. Through the scope, he could see the outline of a huge creature sitting in the tree. "I'm not going to let it get another calf," he growled. It didn't even move as he settled his sights. It just sat there staring right back at him. The moment the rifle's report echoed across the open pasture, the eyes blinked out of existence, and a loud thud was heard as whatever it was fell from the branches. Terry got back into the vehicle and drove towards the cottonwoods, stopping about 40 feet away. There was no sign of the huge animal, underneath the tree or anywhere else. Everything was silent as Terry and the NIDS investigators spread out and entered the tree line. They were about 5 yards apart when Terry was heard to shout, "I see him!" 2 more loud shots rang out. As the NIDS team ran towards him, they heard a commotion in the branches ahead as something heavy blundered through the thicket, moving away from them. It had disappeared by the time they reached the rancher. "It looked like a huge dog, but bipedal," he exclaimed. After searching for an hour in darkness, the team found only 2 large footprints spaced 20 feet apart from each other. They were each 14 inches long and exhibited huge claw indentations. The rest of the month passed by without further incident, but the dogs and livestock continued to act strange. They were on edge and had a hunted look about them, almost as if they could sense that there was a predator in the area. On the 1st of April, another calf vanished without trace. No blood or tracks were found. It was simply there 1 minute and gone the next. On the 2nd, one of the weirdest and possibly most famous of all events to take place on the ranch would occur. It involved 4 of Terry's prized Angus bulls, which he had temporarily moved back onto the property out of convenience. Gwen had joined him once again to help out with a few jobs. They were in a truck heading from the east side of the ranch over to the west, and as they passed the homestead, they looked across at the nearby corral and saw their 4 black Angus bulls staring back at them.
These tats are dead symbols of a dead man! Dead symbols of the lost! Get off me!
Yeah, and what are your symbols that are on your bikes, huh? They look like a whole bunch of strange masochist monkeys on your boat.
We will show you. You are not one of the found! You are the lost! The path. You are lost! Get low!
Oh, get off the hill.
Rippers, son of a bitch. Dead man! Dead symbols of the lost! Get off me! Hey! Over here! You sons of bitches, get off! Ripper assholes, come on!
Boozer. I'm gonna kill them all.
Every fucking one of them!
Oh my god.
Oh, shit.
Let me help you up.
No,
You don't. Get up.
fucking rippers.
Gotta go.
It's like they were waiting for me or something. Fuck!
I didn't see them and then they were on me. Oh, okay. Ron, don't look at it. Goddamn, I'm serious. Don't look at it.
God!
Don't look at it. Get on the bike.
Oh, shit.
Go, go. Shit. Thought we'd never make it. Hey, why don't you wait out here? Let me make sure it's all clear.
Screw that. There's a bunk calling my name.
Alright, pretty much like we left it.
What? Not like there's much to steal. Just gonna reintroduce myself.
Oh, thank God. I'm gonna go out, find some shit for your arm, and get my bike. You gonna be okay?
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
I'll head over to that Nero checkpoint. They gotta have sterile bandages and painkillers.
Don't leave my bike there.
No. I'm gonna be going out on foot while it's still light out.
Hey, I've got some ammo if you need it. In the footlocker by the door.
Thanks.
Hey, don't take my shotgun.
Boozer, all right. Here you go.
Thanks, brother. Just feel kind of naked without it.
I will get back to this game shortly, guys. I got to go AFK. Also, I'll save when I kind of at this point.
Oh, she showed me.
She already showed me though, Already tested her. Well, she got a new game and a shirt for her cosplay.
And something else.
Cheese. You talk about the old days. No, the new day. 20, now, it's getting close to the new year.
Yeah.
Like, talk about old days.
Once I'm 7 years old, Mama told me, go make yourself some friends, you'll be lonely. Once I'm 7 years old.
Dragon Ball Z! Get Goku!
It's a big, big we were bigger.
Spider-Man! Yep, Spider-Man! I told you now, I got a new Spider-Man hoodie. Hey, Dragon! I know you got a hotel. I know you got an AST, Hotel Transylvania.
Yep.
Actually, I got 4. I was first one and second one before. Actually, I got 4 and Hotel Transylvania. The first one is Hotel Transylvania.
Damn it, Boozer, your arm's not gonna be fine. Son of a bitch. I gotta find something for his arm.
And on the 4th Hotel Transylvania, Kid Goku and the Dragon Ball Z. How many movies? Maybe I got 30.
I'm not taking Boozer's bike. I gotta get to mine before it gets dark.
Something on the anime.
Once I'm 7 years old, Mama told me, make yourself some friends, you'll
I
be
got a lot of
lonely.
games.
Once
I got a lot of games too. I got like a lot of PlayStation games. I got third.
What the hell? Boozer, are you awake?
Yeah, Deacon. What's up?
I just saw someone sneaking around the safe house.
What the hell? What's he doing?
No idea. I'm gonna follow him, see if there's some more where he came from. Deacon out.
So anyways guys, let's just say the reason why I'm doing on this video of like, you know, playing through Days Gone is because when I first joined the channel, I don't exactly think I had the very best of a setup, and now that I have a now other than having a better setup, I now also snagged up. I had some Christmas budget money I was given, and because of that, I was able to snag some sweet deals. So now, for you guys, other than the content I already put up, there's, you know, like you guys already seen before, I have a Red Dead content up. I'm going to be putting this content up. Well, I'll be privating the already done videos of
I don't know cheat him. Where's the blueberry
let's see
knucklehead?
here.
I don't know.
I sent him my knife.
Alright guys, because how things are very much smart nowadays, I should be able to easily just since both earbuds ran out of juice, because even though their sound quality is better, their batteries are pretty much like if the battery life was better on them than it currently is, like way better, and the case charge life was like the case battery, like the battery life of the cases, like it's good, but the battery life of the earbuds, the earbuds batteries seem to like if I knew how to do it, I would actually like try to. If I had the right stuff, I would try to solder in some kind of better
of livestock in this quartet alone. With the cattle mutilations and disappearances still fresh in their minds, Gwen remarked to Terry how she would be devastated if anything was to happen to those 4 bulls. At the west end of the ranch, they repaired a broken fence line and tagged a couple of calves, which had been born the previous evening. These tasks took them no more than an hour. On the way back, they rounded the bend in the track heading towards the homestead, and their hearts suddenly skipped a beat. The 4 Black Angus bulls were no longer in the corral. Terry jumped out of the vehicle in a panic and ran over to the enclosure. The gates were still locked, but the bulls were nowhere to be seen. He couldn't believe his eyes. Next to the corral was an old trailer, which hadn't been used in years. Terry happened to jump up onto a feeding trough and look in through one of the skylights, and to his utter amazement, saw all 4 bulls standing silently, crammed into the tiny space. They seemed to be in some sort of trance. "They're in here," he shouted to his wife, and as he did, the bulls woke up from whatever hypnotic state they were in. They seemed to suddenly realise where they were and began to panic, kicking and thrashing wildly inside the narrow trailer. In the end, one of the back doors was kicked off, and all 4 bulls ran out into the sunlight. It took Terry and his wife 2 hours of gentle cajoling to get them back into the corral. When the NIDS team inspected the trailer, they did so in a state of mild disbelief. It would have taken hours to get just one of those angry bulls into such a confined space, let alone 4. In fact, there was no way 4 bulls would ever entertain the idea of sharing such a small trailer with one another. The only entrance into the trailer from the corral was through a door which was wired shut. The NIDS team found old cobwebs strewn across the inside door panel and frame, proving that this entrance hadn't been opened in a very long time. This was baffling, as there was no other way the bulls could have gotten into the trailer from the cattle pen. Upon further investigation, they found that the bars of the corral had somehow been highly magnetised, an anomaly which dissipated over time. This prompted the NIDS team to scan for magnetic fields across the entire property. Sometime later that month, Colm Kelleher was investigating some strange tracks which had been found on the south side of the ranch, when an overpowering scent of musk came over him. It was an odd smell. Being stationed on the property for a number of months already, he had become accustomed to the various odours of fauna and wildlife, but this was different. About 50 yards away he could see his teammate picking his way through some Russian olives, but couldn't attribute the strange smell to anything. Suddenly, The hairs on the back of his neck stood on end, and a chill ran down his spine. Something was close by. He couldn't see it, but he could feel its presence. It was watching him. Putting it down to his imagination, he gritted his teeth and continued with the task at hand. Gradually the feeling subsided and the musk odour receded. When he spoke to his teammate an hour or so later, he too reported that he'd felt as if he was being watched, and had also picked up on the strange scent. He also mentioned that his field compass had acted up, pointing towards the direction where the scent was strongest, and only returning to normal after the odour had dissipated. These magnetic interferences were the first vague pattern that the investigators had seen. Over the course of the year, more strange events would take place, which for the NIDS team would remove any lingering doubt they held over the high strangeness occurring on the ranch. In early June, Colm Kelleher and Eric Davis were on one of their regular stakeouts in front of the dilapidated middle homestead, one of the most notorious hotspots on the property. They were looking out over an open field towards some trees. Eric was scanning the distance with a pair of night vision goggles, whilst Colm was taking long exposure shots of the night sky. Suddenly the dogs that were with them began to yelp and cower behind their legs. At the same time, Eric took a sharp breath and said, "Jesus, there's something in the trees over there. A huge black thing." Colm could not see anything, but then he didn't have the luxury of night vision goggles, so instead began focusing his camera on the trees. "It's big. I'm not sure if it's in the trees or behind the trees," Eric continued. "It's moving north." Colm continued taking shots when his teammate suddenly announced, "It's got me. It's saying, 'We are watching you.'" Eric kept muttering "Jesus Christ" over and over as if he was experiencing some inner turmoil, until finally he said that the object was moving away. When the ordeal was over, Colm asked Eric what had happened, and he replied that he didn't know. It was almost as if the thing in the trees had taken control of his mind. On the way back to the observation trailer, Colm made note of how jumpy his colleague seemed, and wondered if he was more disturbed by his experience than he was letting on. Over the course of the summer, the NIDS team would play cat and mouse with the infamous orbs of light, which appeared regularly all over the property, but they always seemed one step ahead, only appearing for brief moments, and leading investigators on wild goose chases from one end of the ranch to the other as they tried to photograph these strange anomalies. In August, 2 team members would have one of the most frightening experiences. It was around 3:30 AM, and they were on top of the ridge, looking down towards the notorious middle homestead. Again, only one of them had a pair of infrared binoculars, whilst the other looked after various scientific instruments and sensors. They had been standing up on the ridge for about 3 hours, and were about to move on to another location, when Mike, the investigator with the binoculars, suddenly noticed a light appear in a pasture about 150 feet below. Bizarrely, his colleague, Jim, could only see a dull illumination, yet through the infrared goggles, it appeared as bright as the moon. It was hovering about 3 feet off the ground, and Mike was talking about how it seemed to be growing in size, when he stopped abruptly and said, "It's not a light, it's a tunnel. I can see through to the other side." Jim asked his colleague if he could take a look, but Mike was transfixed on the strange phenomenon. "There's something in the tunnel," he exclaimed. "It's crawling out." To Mike's utter disbelief, he could see a huge black featureless figure crawling on its elbows and knees from the other side of the tunnel. He then witnessed it climb out of the tunnel and run up the side of the ridge, moving faster than was humanly possible. Both investigators heard the shale crunch under its feet as it ran past them, about 30 feet away, before it disappeared into the darkness. Immediately afterwards, they were greeted by a terrifyingly eerie silence, as an odd, musky odour hung in the night air. In many ways, the things that the NIDS team witnessed were every bit as frightening, bizarre and inexplicable as the activity the Sherman family had experienced. They saw the same orbs of light zipping through fields and tree lines, metallic UFOs hovering over the property, strange creatures and portal-like anomalies. They witnessed firsthand the devastating cattle mutilations. They experienced the poltergeist-like activity, strange odours, magnetic fields, heard the noises underground, and many other things besides. But by mid-1998, the activity had started to decline, and it would remain that way for many years afterwards. until the team finally pulled the plug and left the property in 2004. They had not succeeded in explaining what was occurring, but for the time being at least, they had succeeded in putting an end to the strange activity on the ranch, even if this was not the outcome they had hoped for. There is a common belief amongst skeptics that the NIDS team failed to gather any supporting evidence, and in some ways this is true, but not entirely accurate. They did succeed in recording some of the anomalies on film. In fact, so did Terry Sherman when he owned the ranch.
Manny, I'm looking for a bike.
Yeah? Oh. You don't want that one.
Why not?
It just came off the truck. I mean, some dumb son of a bitch left it out in the shit. Rusted up good. The road hard, too. The fool that rode it didn't know shit about bikes.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Shot the hell this one. He just partied it out. It didn't even have a fuel pump. We could have used that.
Man, fuel pump like this one?
Okay.
Like this one, Manny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's starting to realize like, oh shit, we messed him over.
The fools that brought that bike in, see, they didn't tie that shit down properly, so they left it like rattling around back there.
Deacon, right? Let's talk.
Do they just realize that they probably messed somebody over?
Got hit hard last night. Rippers came. Twice now they've been up here.
Man, oh man, if it were up to me, if it were up to me, Copeland's camp, they'd be witnessing a massacre going on for wrecking a bike that clearly had some very parts that were very personal to Deacon.
Gonna run out sooner or later. Like everything else.
Of course, like I said, guys, hope you guys are enjoying the video and all that. I will be live streaming this, but clearly, one of the reasons I'm not live streaming this is just to the very fact that, like I said before, other things are being done in the background, and because of such, such things would affect the very live stream.
Land of the free. We are that.
But recording should be okay.
I didn't see that. I was looking at the computer.
Saw Leon the other day. Yeah? He was bringing me something. Is that right? Folks here in a lot of pain, Deke. Oh, Leon. Doug said that he took off. No one's seen him. Tell you what. You find his stash. You bring it to...
Well, guys, I'm gonna check up on something.
Knapp's work of the same name. Most of this video evidence was rejected by the NIDS advisory board, as the majority of the recordings took place at night and captured the most common phenomenon, which was the orbs of light. Unfortunately, due to the darkness, these recordings only depicted what looked like indistinct points of light in the night sky or off in the distance, and were pretty mundane. The point the NIDS team made in the aftermath of their investigation was that whatever was haunting the ranch did not like the intrusion. It did not want to be investigated. It was always one step ahead, and seemed to be completely in control. Equipment would inexplicably fail at the most inopportune times. The phenomena seemed to know when the team was waiting for something to happen, and when something did happen, it would occur just outside their camera's field of view, and would be far too brief to record in any case. The activity was nearly always one of a kind, and it rarely, if ever, repeated itself, and if it did, it would be in a completely different place to where their cameras were trained. It was extremely frustrating for those involved in the investigation, and Robert Bigelow himself would go on to describe the phenomena as a precognitive sentient intelligence. Despite all this, there are hundreds of well-documented eyewitness accounts, not just from the NIDS team, but also from neighbours, residents of the Uinta Basin, and people who have visited the ranch since out of curiosity. Skinwalker Ranch is a rich tapestry of strange occurrences, far too bizarre and unbelievable for many people to accept. But if there is any truth to the claims, And if there are explanations out there, what could they be? First of all, let's address the elephant in the room. Could the whole thing have been an elaborate hoax? Were the Shermans faking the phenomena to offload a property which had in fact turned out to be a financial disaster? They had lost a lot of cattle and were on...
Any idea how much time I put into that bike? It was a drifter bike, Manny.
I know. I'll make it up to you, I swear. I put together a new one.
You call this piece of shit a bike?
I know. It's not... Look, I'll keep an eye out for more parts. I'll hook you up. I swear.
Okay, and what about my custom gas tank, Manny? You know, the one that I got from my dead wife. You gonna keep an eye out for that one, too?
Jesus, Deke, I'm sorry.
Just get the fuck out of my way.
Deacon.
Yeah, it's cool. Let's see, receive the Allied Trust status with an encampment.
Camper's life, hey man.
Yeah, in my opinion, they really just I'll actually say it on stream, but they really fucked. I'm taking over.
I got parts. You're looking.
Pirates say Caribbean. And Rainbow. Johnny Depp.
Let's see here, what can we currently do though? Let's see here, we have 100 credits. Actually, let's hold up. Before we get it out, let's see, merchants. Where's where we can turn in eaters and all that? Let's cash in so many of those where basically we're really telling them, hey, deep root your really look at your logs of all the parts, and then get them right back over here and tell them that the parts were not there to begin with to give.
I knew it was yours.
Christian.
Yeah, is that right?
Look, I tried to talk to Cope, but he's pretty pissed right now, okay? Not at you, well, maybe at you, but man, at the Rippers, you know, they hit us pretty hard, you hear?
Yeah, I heard. Thanks for telling me, Jesse. You know, we go back a ways. You got my back, I got yours.
Damn straight. But listen, I gotta keep my head down, okay? Pretend like you're just some drifter. Just until things cool with Copeland.
Yeah, I get it.
Yes. You do the killing. I'll do the counting.
That's it for now.
Hey. Stay sharp.
She seems to be... She's actually... The one that counts the bounty seems to be... In my opinion, she seems to be the gold star of this camp.
How's it going? Hey, Damon. How's life?
Actually, the only ones I see that are worse on this camp are just Manny and Copeland.
Deacon St. John. Damon, how's it going?
Oh, gun merchants? Let's... Well, before we even get weaponry, let's see about...
Done for the camp. A lot of folks alive because of you.
Hey, Manny.
Engine, let's see here. Hold on. I wanna take a look at something.
I'll be here. You looking for something?
Yeah. Let's... Okay, let's say that I would have to do some more side things for them in order for me to gain up more credits.
I'll wrap that up for you.
And boom, there we go. Now, because a little trick has been done, I should be able to get the best I can.
This should last you for a while.
Yes. Alright, no problem. But I
Good
can
choice, man.
smell-
Good choice.
Smell what?
Oh yeah, that's a good
I can
piece.
smell. I can smell it like a dog. Smell what?
I'll wrap that up for you.
You know dogs can smell. Yeah, every dog do that. They not gonna attack. Dogs will not gonna attack you. They try to get the nose. Yes.
Cool. Need anything else?
And dogs know how to keep an eye out, and they be trained. Sonic. What the heck does that mean? It's shiny, the purple. Oh.
This should last you for a while. Good choice, man. Good choice.
Let's get this looking like an actual drifting bike.
Oh, Smurfs. You mean
Thing is, I only have a Tay.
You mean Smurfs?
Of course, I'm gonna customize it the way I like. I go for that color.
What, is something wrong?
No, it's Nick. This is Teddy Bear Nick.
Oh yeah, that's a good piece.
I say Gargamel. No Gargamel or Smurfs. Was a Eddie Murphy, and because he played Donkey and Shrek.
Oh yeah, that's right. The crazy thing about this game is that I've been the people involved within this game also were involved with Death Stranding, so like, so it's kind of a good thing to play Death Stranding first just to get the reference.
A blueberry.
What the heck? You froze it.
Hello, D.
Yeah, my head.
Why are you following me? Why are you following
And so far that I know of, so far I know of, Days Gone does not have any kind of complete edition.
Stop singing. Snow, what are you doing here with words? All you do, to be honest. Listen, Donkey. Take it.
Very tall.
Really tall.
I'll wrap that up for you.
Little Donkey. Take a look at me. What am I? Really tall? No! I'm the old
I'll be here. Your bike needs an upgrade.
Doesn't that bother you?
Nope.
Okay, man.
Really? Oh.
No, I'll keep an eye out for more shit. See you around, man.
Right.
What am I?
Jesus, this isn't a goddamn bike.
Yeah, what? Yeah, I try to do my best for Deacon. Drifting while accelerating with right trigger, tap B to perform a drift. Drifting can alternate can help you take corners quicker. Alright. Well, Spike, if you lost your bike either at the bottom of the lake, somewhere off a cliff, or in the vastness of the Farewell Wilderness and are still close to it, you can use the map to recover it to a nearby location.
Booster, you there?
Yeah, Deacon.
How you doing? How's the arm?
Like I said, I'll be fine.
Fighting damage from the landing, you can reduce the damage to your bike by using L2. You will your tires parallel to the ground. Okay.
I'm still gonna head to that Nero checkpoint, find some sterile bandages, ointment.
Yeah, sure, whatever. I'm gonna go out. Make sure the mountain's clear.
Booster, no, those are third-degree burns. You stay there, you rest, okay? I'll be there as soon as I can.
I guess. I guess, you know, I could use something for the pain.
Yeah, I guess I'll see what I can find,
On the verge of bankruptcy after all. But why invent such fantastical story?
I'll pay you to restore.
So these men, you know them because shutting down Radio Free Oregon seems kind of personal.
Goddamn right it's personal. They used to be a part of my camp. Seems they didn't like the rules against stealing, raping, murdering.
Now maybe they're like me, just tired of listening to your paranoid truther bullshit. St. John out.
One more thing. When they left, it appears they may have stolen some automatic rifles and a few shotguns. Watch yourself.
Jesus, Coke, thanks for that.
Hold on, guys. What is it, bro?
Can I get that cable that you use to charge the other headphones? My headphones will still need to be charged, but I don't want to be able to stop using them temporarily. Because I need to be alive at the moment.
Bro, let's just say if I had the tools, I would also like to have these earbuds modified because the earbuds, I wish they had a longer battery life than what they currently have. The case battery life is kind of okay, but the very batteries inside the earbuds, they need to be. If I have the tools, I would gladly swap out the batteries of my alien-looking earbuds to try and fit into my.
What if in the future, Skull Candy made a type of earbud where they gave long, very long recharging cables, and then like one cable that can recharge both the earbuds. You can live where it looks like wired earbuds, but it just charges up the earbuds. I what if in the future earbud brands really made it where you can make wired earbuds into wireless if you just unplug them, but then they go on battery then.
That would be brilliant.
I think I thought that like long ago and then I just now remembered it. I was about to say I'll wait for you to charge your wireless earbuds when they need charge, but you still want to use them. But then again, they'll look like wired earbuds, so it's better just to say like wired earbuds, but a detachable wire.
Oh. Alright guys, I'm back.
Heads up.
can. Go about it.
It's kind of research on like the other ones because he's got literally just
Guns up the ass, and every goddamn one of them we shoot
do we have a long Oxford or something?
Fuck them and their trooper.
Well, then again, I can use like one of the Oxford for the speaker, right?
God, I'm so sick of this shit. At least we don't have to listen to that crap no more.
I hear one.
Shit. Wait.
I think LeBron's still playing.
So yeah, do RDR2 and Days Gone, they do allow you to for you to have a more pacifist way of things. Where if you want to, you can, and Red Dead and in Days Gone, you can in fact use bows or crossbows.
Without a thing, everything feel alright. Alright.
Basic, yeah. Basically, the headphones I'm wearing. If I use aux, it looks like if I use aux for my headphones, then it'll be under headphones. So.
Mine now.
And I'm not basically just going to buy just the headphones.
This essay looks like a. Yeah, this is so hard for definitely looks like an AK-47.
There might be some difference to it, but right now I'm just charging out the headset I'm wearing.
Right by White Castles. What about White Castles? I went to White Castles over there before. I saw our old friend. Well, her name is Marie. Yeah, right there. Y'all know this White Castles. Yeah, I haven't been over there a while.
Gourmet and Blade. Oh, look at that. That's a mirror. Oh my gosh, our art looks so amazing. Oh, hey, look. It's that other girl. Oh, I literally forgot her name on accident. Ooh. That literally looks like a robot inside of Portals.
What are you looking at?
She does not like the mom does not like
Alright.
Italian beef sandwich.
The new gaming comes in the Forgotten Hall.
That me and mom used to go there and she does not like the sandwich.
Yes, I want to enter the Forgotten Hall.
Tenders. I like them.
What is it measuring my own fucking abilities? So fire, ice, imagination, and electro.
Now this right here,
So once
this
ice,
is...
I'll give fire right there, and then...
This is like an actual
so
melee
I
kind of
guess
thing.
it'll be...
Like, the other, you know, using knives and all that. So far that just seems like kind of a dagger approach.
Huh, okay. Electro... Oh. Why doesn't it go to the next one? Electro with quantum.
What else right here is... Let's see here.
Okay. Be within 20 cycles. Do not have a cookie.
Okay, so apparently there's 3 other people here that I have to eliminate. I guess the guy wasn't given care, so he didn't know that I was there to silence.
Why is that top bit laggy?
There's a quick save right here. Let me just double check the map. Okay, so we have one more person around here. Who's the lucky
Damn!
Who's the lucky one that survived all this? Okay, looking at the GPS, not really an answer. That's odd. I know where he...
Bro, ain't no way.
The last of them. Jesus, Cope, how many men have you pissed off?
It seems like this is... I think the boot knife... As you see here, the boot knife is used for more of those sneakily done kind of things, while the machete is for doing a whole bunch of this.
This has got to be the generator, but it's been shot to hell.
Luckily, Deacon has some spares on him already.
There we go.
Drop it!
If you had bullets, I wouldn't be breathing now, would I?
Please, mister.
I don't shoot women if I have a choice. Do I have a choice?
I ain't got nothing. I got nowhere to go.
Yeah, that's one thing. Deacon doesn't kill ladies.
Jesus Christ. Alright, let's see if they got an underground bunker around here.
I recall, I think it's somewhere here.
Here it is.
I may not get the 3 stars thing on this one.
Oh, it's that.
Surely this would only damage their reputation and ultimately devalue the land. Not only this, but UFOs and strange creatures had been seen and reported in the region for centuries, and neighbours of the Shermans reported similar activity on their ranches. This somewhat suggests that the phenomena was not unique to Skinwalker Ranch, and by extension, not the product of the Shermans' imaginations. They could not have invented hundreds of years' worth of experiences. Add in the fact that Robert Bigelow was convinced enough to purchase the property, as well as invest millions in a decade-long study, and that the phenomena was also witnessed by the investigative team, who, as it happens, were PhD professors and...
It's probably nothing. Sounded like bike engines.
Bro, what the
right
fuck?
somewhere on the mountain.
I just finished clearing the radio tower.
I'm definitely not gonna win
I'm gonna
that.
climb the tower, see if I can see anything.
At least I can kick its ass.
Let's see here. What kind of possible things can I find in the gun locker?
What?
initially skeptical. Some skeptics have argued that the whole thing was created by George Knapp and Robert Bigelow in the hopes of turning the ranch into a supernatural tourist spot. But one, this hasn't happened. In fact, Bigelow held on to and protected the property for 20 years, and the only thing he changed in that time was the front gate. 2, consider again the accounts of the locals, which stretch back for centuries. These experiences were there long before Bigelow, Knapp, or even the Shermans had anything to do with the ranch. So if not a hoax, what else could have been occurring? Were visitors to the ranch suffering some sort of mass delusion? It is not impossible, but highly unlikely given the sheer amount of people involved. As already mentioned, NIDS carried out a battery of tests to rule out any environmental factors, and they found no common thread in the psychological profiling of people they talked to, and even themselves, which would point to mass delusion. Not only that, but in many cases, physical evidence was left behind, be it footprints, mutilated cattle, vaporized dogs, indetectable magnetic fields, amongst many other things. These physical signs were not imagined. Perhaps the most popular theory amongst people who believe the phenomena to be real is that the ranch was the scene of extraterrestrial visitation. Whilst it's true that many UFOs, strange craft and creatures were seen, anything that was left behind by the phenomena and later studied by the NIDS team yielded only terrestrial signatures.
Radio Free Oregon. Jesus, what have I done? This is it. The nearest checkpoint. I gotta find some shit for
losers. Fight now. Nah, that's some bullshit. That's some immense BS. Fuck, we're gonna halt for a bit. And then, oh yeah, this name, Red Bean saying, hey, I've got some juicy gossip. The RPC is sending their guys to the space station. Go on.
Well, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna go get something done in reality a bit more. And thank you guys for pretty much watching.
And without any notice. I got behind the IPC caught one of the GS Society big shots.
We'll resume right here. I'll just have the game paused.
Work with them on the Stealing Universe project. So who's coming?